Hello, everyone, and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Todd Anderson.
I'm Ross Merriam.
We got Dan May over in the booth because apparently Rob's still on vacation.
He's been on like 3 vacations this year.
Yeah, and
I'm jealous.
Hi.
we got a wild Jerry Thompson hanging out today. Jerry's in town, I guess, just hanging out for the Invitational and SCG Con in 2 weeks.
I came to hang out with you, Todd. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that's fair, but get off your phone sometimes when you're at my house. Got him.
Be more interesting. Entertain us like right now.
Well, I mean, that's kind of your job, right? That's what you're doing today.
That's what you're doing today.
It's also our job.
Oh, right. Crap.
Did you forget that?
Yeah. It was my fault. So Jerry's going to be our color commentator today, just calling out digs from chat, going to be pointing out bad plays, which there will be plenty, I'm sure.
Me too.
But the main part of today is that we are playing with Modern Horizons. Finally, we've gotten a lot of preview cards to play with, and we have built 6 new decks today to test out some of these awesome cards.
Yeah, Todd's been chomping at the bit to get onto some Modern Horizons.
I wanted to do it last week, full disclosure, and Cedric was like, "Nah, we got to play regular Modern for Louisville." And I was like, okay, fine. I guess we won't play with this brand new set with brand new Modern cards for the first time ever.
But we're doing it now.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everything's going to be okay, Todd.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jerry's here if you need a hug.
No, dude, he scared me.
You're among friends.
Okay. Thanks.
Presumably.
All right, so that's what we're going to be doing today. 6 new decks featuring a bunch of new cards. Let's talk about match number 1. Ross, what are you playing, and what are the new cards?
I am playing a Devoted Druid combo deck. Now, typically, this deck has been called Counter's Company because it contains Collected Company. But my list
and
is...
you put a bunch of counter spells in your deck, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Yeah.
Counter's Company.
Yeah, so we put Force of Negation in the deck to protect the Devoted Druid, but not really... Okay, that's not what we're doing.
We're lying. It was called Counter's Company because you try to put -1/-1 counters on your Devoted Druid, but you can't because of...
Least favorite name of all time.
It's fine.
By a wide margin. So I've renamed the deck because I've cut Collected Company.
Did you cut Collected Company so you could rename the deck?
Not entirely.
Giver Counters. That's what we're calling the deck. Giver of Ruined Counters.
I have disliked Collected Company in these decks for quite a while because I don't think the backup plan in them is strong enough. And you got to play a lot of combo pieces in order to consistently assemble them in the early turns of the game, at a modern speed. And with that many, Duskwatch Recruiters and Vizier Remedies and mana creatures in your deck, even with Tireless Tracker or Knight of the Reliquary, Kitchen Finks, all these different creatures that have made their way in and out of these decks, you just didn't have a strong enough backup aggro plan.
I completely agree. I thought the real strength of those old Birthing Pod decks, and then after Birthing Pod was banned, the Collected Company decks that used Kitchen Finks and the 1-mana sacrifice Viscera Seer. Those decks had a super good plan B, which was just a bunch of medium-sized creatures like Kitchen Finks and Gavany Township. And all the versions that play Devoted Druid actually just lose that ability to turn the corner and be aggressive in some matchups because you have so many creatures in your deck that have 0 power.
Yes, or 2-mana 2/1s. Just not modern statted creatures. So I have turned it into a straight combo deck. We've seen different versions of this before. There was
Hall of the Bandit Lord. Yeah,
there's that one, but I've added a few new elements. The main one for Modern Horizons is Giver of Runes.
I like that one. 1 mana, effectively a Spellskite, and also the ability to just protect things if you get to untap with it just seems really strong.
Yeah, so it's really, relative to Mother of Runes, it's clearly not as powerful because it can't protect itself, but just like Mother of Runes, it's almost always going to draw out a removal spell.
Yeah.
Because, if you untap with it, then they can't use their removal spell on your next creature anyway. So it's a very good lightning rod in this deck that is going to make sure that your turn 2 Devoted Druid now lives a much larger portion of the time. And then, later, you can replace it with a second copy. You can find them with your various tutor effects to set up the combo and make sure you have protection, or at least draw out 1 removal spell and keep forcing your opponent to have more and more interaction. So I think it plays really well with any sort of high leverage 2-mana play or 2-mana creature. So Devoted Druid is at the top of the list. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben.
Yeah.
And there are some others. I've got an article that should be coming out later this week, all about Giver of Runes, so make sure to check that out.
For sure.
But I've chosen, more direct tutor effects to facilitate the combo so I can assemble the pieces.
Tell me about this.
Yeah.
Tutor effect.
We've got War of the Spark, Finale of Devastation.
Okay.
So that's a nice one. Relative to Court of Calling, it only costs 4 mana to find your Devoted Druid and get it onto the battlefield. If you have a bunch of mana, it can also just sort of turn into a win condition if you cast it for 10. And then we have...
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. We have another Modern Horizons card, and that is Aladamri's Call. This one was recently previewed. It's a reprint from Plane Shift, I believe.
Yes.
And just a great 2 mana, find any creature you need. Got the Devoted Druid, your piece of protection. You can find the win condition afterwards. Yeah,
Eldamri's Call has been a key part of a really fringe legacy deck for a long time. One that I know your teammate Jill Lissette likes to play every now and then. The Cephalid Illusionist.
Cephalid Breakfast.
Cephalid Breakfast, yeah. But I think Eldamri's Call could be really good in Ether Vial decks because it allows you to get whatever creatures on curve with the vial. You can use it a lot like the way we used to use Green Sun Zenith, where you could play a couple of bullets to search up, and with Ether Vial you kind of get the extra mana generation. So I like the idea of Eldamri's Call, and I love it in your deck.
Yes, and then the last card that digs through your deck to find creatures is another new card from War of the Spark. That's Vivian, Champion of the Wilds, which is a great way to both generate card advantage against removal heavy decks, also dig through your deck and assemble the right pieces, but then giving your Devoted Druid flash makes it so that your opponent is always off balance. They're not sure if they can tap out.
Starts to sound a lot like a Splinter Twin deck.
Yeah.
When you add Vivian into the mix.
So we've got a lot of new elements into this archetype. This is a deck that was popular for a little while right after Vizier of Remedies was printed, fell off the map, didn't really have the staying power to keep up, and it's gotten a lot of new tools in the meantime.
Yeah, I think people were really trying to do the old Collected Company variations, right? But they didn't realize that the plan B was not a real plan. And I think that going full on combo seems like it could be the way to go, especially now that you have Eldamri's Call and Finale of Devastation as more tutor effects. What are your thoughts on this deck, Jerry?
I do like the idea of Eldamri's Call with Aether Vial, and it seems like Ross's deck is going in a direction where Aether Vial might actually be good. So any thoughts and considerations to that?
Yeah, your curve is condensed at 1s and 2s for the most part. There's a couple 3s, and that's right where you need to be with the vial.
Sure. What do you think about maybe a Thalia version of this deck, kind of mashing the two together?
Now you're getting to where you have a lot of different pieces. It's hard to fit everything.
Thalia, Chalice of the Void, Simeon Spirit Guide.
Sure. All right.
But yeah, I like Aladamri's Call, definitely good with Aether Vial. I hadn't considered that synergy because Call was a late addition to this deck, given that it was previewed fairly recently. Yeah, and but that's definitely a very interesting idea. I would probably take the place of Vivian since it's like playing.
I was thinking that too, but I actually kind of like the Vivians in your deck.
Yeah,
just the ability
maybe you can fit both.
Vivian with Vial is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they don't really work well together, though, right? Because it doesn't go into your hand. Vial only works from your hand.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, like, yeah, it draws you extra creatures, whatever, but it kind of doesn't.
yeah. All right, so we're going to be putting that deck up against a brew that I've been working on. This is a mono-red Phoenix deck. I know, big shocks, right? But the new cards in my deck, we have kind of moved away from the 1-mana prowess creatures, which very easily could be a mistake. I'm going to just say
hate it
up front. I love the prowess creatures, right? But what we're trying to do is we're trying to function a lot more like an interactive combo deck. And if you know me, you know I love like these combo decks that can play a fair game. And we're using Aria of Flame as our kind of combo enabler. But on top of that, we're playing a bunch of rituals, Pyretic, Desperate Ritual, and we're kind of ramping into these Bedlam Revelers, as well as Seasoned Pyromancer, which when you have no hand, functions a lot like a Bedlam Reveler where it just draws some cards. It also allows you to generate a fair amount of power while discarding something like a Lava Dart or an Arclight Phoenix and putting 4 power on the battlefield. So I'm curious to see just how good that is. And in matchups where stuff like Gutshot and Lava Dart aren't very good, discarding those to draw cards and find fresh resources is pretty sweet. So I'm kind of doing this mid-rangey, combo-y Bedlam Reveler Phoenix thing. New cards in my deck. Aria Flame. That's the one that functions a little bit like a combo. And I haven't played with it yet, except for just like a few games before we started, and it looks nice. That's some really messed up stuff.
You've been called out, Todd. Sunset Cam Sprilla says it's very rude to play a Lava Dart deck against someone who's playing a bunch of elves.
He has Giver of Runes. And he also only has like, how many creatures do you have with 1 toughness? Like 8?
Yeah, just Vizier and Noble Hierarch.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Eternal Witness or what have you, but
Sure. You know,
Still rude.
fine.
How dare you try and kill Ross's creatures?
it doesn't kill Giver of Runes or Devoted Druid,
yeah.
and that's the problem. So I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as you think.
Lava Dart can, it can double up and get there in a pinch.
Sure. So I'm playing Aria of Flame, Seasoned Pyromancer, which I mentioned, and Sunbaked Canyon. This is one of the red Horizon Canopy style lands. This is the red-white one. Could be replaced with the blue-red one. Might want 8. Might want 3 or 2 or 0. I don't know yet, but I like the idea of the card in this deck because I feel like a lot of times you get to a spot where you just need some way to find action, and with Seasoned Pyromancer and Bedlam Reveler, that might be enough. And if that's the case, maybe cutting Sunbaked Canyon is fine. So we'll just have to wait and see. But
I like stress testing and just adding, comically large amounts of those Horizon Canopy lands and just seeing what is too many.
all right, well, I feel like we've talked long enough. We're going to be taking some questions. Jerry's going to be writing down his favorites and asking them at opportune times. I believe you get to go first because I still have the marbles. This
true.
is probably the longest I've ever had the marbles.
You've been monopolizing them for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, so you'll be on the play. Let's take a look at our openers.
Indeed, I will. That seems important in this matchup where you can both just kill on turn 3.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of an awkward hand here, but wonder if I'm supposed to mulligan this, just because I have no Devoted Druid and no way to dig for it. Yeah, I'm just going to mulligan this hand.
Well, my hand is great.
That's not a good sign.
Great. Jerry, you want to hit us with anything?
Yeah, so Esfera wants to know if y'all have any plans to play zombies or slivers in the near future.
Zombies? Ross, aren't you playing a zombie deck today?
You might want to stay tuned to the rest of the show.
We don't have any sliver decks today. I kind of want to, I like with something like slivers, I want to wait for all of them to come out before I build, because like there could be a 1-mana Gemhide sliver for all I know, and that completely changes how the deck functions. And also like the slivers are so cool and unique that like I have no idea how to build it. It's like 5 colors. You probably want Ether Vial. Maybe you want to be green white basic and play Eldamri's Call, but you need enough like 5 mana lands, hard catcher slivers.
You're not playing Eldamri's Call because you got you get to play so many 5-color lands. There's Sliver Hive and
and you get to play Unclaimed Territory and Cavern of Souls.
All right, Todd, you've been called out again. Scooter wants to know how many times you and I have gone to Waffle House on our current trip to Roanoke, and it is currently 2. How long have I been here, Todd?
24 hours.
Good rate.
Yeah. Well, we went late last night because I just wanted a snack, and then today, me and Ross have like our
standing breakfast
date every Tuesday and Thursday before we head in. So, how's your 6?
It is definitely better. We're going to snap this one off and make an irrelevant scribe because I'm fetching on turn 1.
All right. Going to 19? Or?
Yeah, I'll go to Plains.
All right. My go?
You can go. Yeah, get my Giver on turn 1. This should draw out a Bolt.
Should it?
I might not draw it out now, but it will eventually.
I don't want to kill... So basically, it doesn't matter when I kill Giver of Runes because it'll be able to protect the other creature next turn. So I think I just want to go ahead and Faithless Looting since I have a very juicy Faithless Looting. Discard 2 Arclight Phoenixes.
That's pretty good.
Not bad. Not bad.
Sure you didn't want to mulligan that hand?
I was pretty sure I didn't want to mulligan that hand.
Okay. I will play a Forest and pass the turn.
Okay.
Actually,
so
I guess I should attack since this doesn't target
that's true. It can't
anything
protect
else.
itself.
Yeah. This is not like Mother Runes. It can pretty freely attack.
19 all. So I have a feeling he's gonna Eldamri's Call, untap, and play a thing. So I think I'm just gonna play this and say go. Like we can get back both Phoenixes, but the resources gonna cost are heavy.
Well, Todd was right. That's what I'm doing. I'll find our Devoted Druid.
Yeah.
Okay, so the worry here on my side is that Todd has 2 removal spells and then returns the 2 Phoenixes on the following turn, which unfortunately seems pretty reasonable given how content he was to pass right here. But, our deck does one thing, so that's what we're going to do.
That's fair. There's also probably a reason why I should just not play the Faithless Looting because it kind of gives away the rest of my hand. All right, and I want to wait until my turn to cast the bolt so that we get the third spell for the Phoenix. So, all right, Mountain. Let's go lightning bolt on the giver
Target.
In response to that, I'm gonna lava dart it and then sack it, lava dart it again.
Yep.
And that's lava dart counting as 2 spells in a hand where I had not a third spell. So we're gonna bring back 2 Phoenixes and attack.
Brings me to 13.
Yep, sure go.
And I don't think there's any reason to crack this fetch. We might end up winning this game at 1 life and not cracking this. And the deck thinning is rather minimal. And that was horrific.
If it makes you feel any better, I have no other interaction. So,
Well, I have no other relevant cards.
I got 4 cards in hand.
Yep.
Are they all like finale for 1 and does nothing, or?
Nope. How can I win this game? I guess it involves Todd having actually nothing and me winning at 1 life.
Mm.
So, yeah, let's play a Vizier Remedies and pass the turn.
Okay. All right. Draw.
Ooh. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound like nothing.
Drew Manamorphose, but I don't have
Okay.
I have a Bedlam Reveler and a Seasoned Pyromancer. And I think I'm just going to attack you to 7 and then play Seasoned Pyromancer, pitching 2 spells. But I might want to discard 1 spell and a land. I'm not sure. Let's just go start with Manamorphose.
Yep.
I don't think my life total matters that much. So we'll go to 18, play Sunbaked. I'm going to play Seasoned Pyromancer, and I don't think I'm going to need either of these, and the 1/1 might come up huge. So we're going to discard Arya and Bedlam and draw 2 and make 2.
Good.
Oh,
It's
they're
elementals, yeah.
used. I get to beat you with yourself today. Oh, well, that was pretty good. Couple of cards. Wow.
At
you're
7.
Pretty dead next turn.
Todd, are you liking this deck?
Dude, this deck's sweet. I actually really, before we started, I thought I might want a bunch more rituals. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. I thought I might want a couple more rituals. I have 6, but every time I've drawn a hand with rituals, it's looked way better than a hand without. And that hand was obviously quite good in this matchup, just like being interactive. But, you know, I had 2 burn spells for 2 creatures.
2 pieces of interaction and double Phoenix on turn 3, which is pretty good.
So a new card just got previewed. If y'all want to give some
Yes.
live commentary.
Oh, love doing that. It's one of my favorite things.
All right.
Yeah.
2R.
Wilderness Reclamation got previewed. It was
I just
here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was
he-
just dumbfounded. I was like,
Yeah?
how is this a thing? What are you talking about?
Okay. 2R, 2/2.
Okay.
Legendary creature, Goblin Warrior.
What's his name?
Pashalik Mons.
Oh.
Mons. Like
So
Mons
Mons.
Goblin Raiders.
Yeah.
Whenever Pashalik Mons or another goblin you control dies, this deals 1 to any target. 3R, sack a goblin, create 2 1/1 goblin creature tokens.
I've already built a Goblin Sacrifice deck.
Do you think this card would be good in it?
Yeah, it's just another
So-
Blood Art. Like, I have 4 Blood Artist in the deck. And this is
Okay.
just Blood Artist.
Did you have Judith?
I didn't have Judith. I went with Blood Artist over Judith for curve considerations because of Goblin Matron.
Well, this is pretty similar, but yeah, this is certainly a good matron target.
Judith that is a goblin,
Right.
right? And it's when it or any other creature dies.
Yes.
So it counts
Any other
tokens. Is any other creature or any goblin?
This or another goblin you control dies.
Okay, so
It does count tokens.
It does count tokens, which is huge for like
Yeah.
siege gang commanders and stuff.
Sling Gang Commander.
Yeah. Slang gang. Love that one. All right, so let's get in here to game 2. It's going to take a look at our 7s. I like that card. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I love me a good goblin. And even so, it's fighting with War Chief and what's the one that gives +1/+1 and haste? Chieftain. So, like, it's a pretty tough spot, but as a 1-up for sure, definitely goes in, right?
I think there's a lot of competition at any spot in the curve, except for maybe the 1-drops.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that they've just built this sacrifice theme into goblins, so we need to rethink how the deck works. It's not as much of an aggro deck anymore, or like that grindy a deck that we've seen in Legacy. It's going to become like Goblin Aristocrats.
Let Sam Black figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's going to be Skirk Prospectoring.
Yeah, I mean, Skirk Prospector seems perfect with it. And Skirk Prospector, obviously a newer addition to Modern, came out in Dominaria, I believe. So definitely love that. We tried to build that in standard, and it was just a little bit short. We were using it with Judith, but this is a Goblin Judith that works with tokens, and that's awesome. So we have Mogwar Marshal, and we have Krenkov's Command and Dragon Fodder, and there's a newer one,
Goblin
that's in
Instigator.
Instigators in standard, yeah. So
You said you wanted to play Hordling Outburst in Modern.
I do want to play one of them.
This is probably not what you were trying to sign up for, but
Maybe, who knows? How's your 7 roster?
Once again, no Devoted Druid. Not a real good way to dig for it. And I'm dealing myself a lot of damage because both my lanes are Horizon Canopies.
So keep or
So I think this is another mulligan.
I think this is going to be a common theme. Like Ross, you talked about stress testing the Horizon lands or
Yeah.
Canopy lands, whatever people are calling them.
well, Ross just has literal Horizon Canopy.
No, I know, but it's like you're going to start with like the 4 in your deck. If you're mono red like Todd's playing, or even if you're 3 color or something, you might start with like 6 or 8, and that's just going to be a common theme where you have 2 in your opening hand, and if you're not playing Death Shadow or whatever,
Yeah.
you're kind of screwed.
I've got 6 in the deck later today, but that
Okay.
one has Urborg to help out with it.
Oh, nice. That is just good deck building right
No,
there.
I love so there's a lot to be said about these new lands with Urborg, because there's 8 black ones, and you could just play 8 of them in smallpox with 4 Urborg. That was your idea when we were talking the other day about it. That just seems really smart.
Yeah, Urborg's great.
Smallpox deck, super low on resources. I guess I'll crack it. So I'll crack.
Okay, let's.
Well, Tom Ross worked on the set, so you got to be thinking that there's some 8 rack love in the set.
That's true. What was what's the turn my creature into a 6/4? Yeah, that was clearly a Tom Ross snuck that one in there. Are you kidding me? You just get the 2-card kill people.
Tom's like, all right, I'm going to buff 8 rack and infect, and then I'm going to start playing in Pro Tours again.
Yeah.
Work is done.
Yeah.
How's your 6, man?
not great, but I think it's a keep. It's once again just missing Devoted Druid, but if it hits it, like I've got all the other pieces.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't have an interaction spell yet, so
That one can go to the bottom, and I'll start on a Windsweep Heath.
all right. Here we go.
You're up.
Aw, just get a land. I want to
No,
play.
You're
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do some stuff. Actually, I'm gonna play an Aria Flame. I just wanted to get it on there to see how it does. You're at 30
For now.
for now.
Yes, for now.
Your turn. You're gonna see just how quickly this card kills. By the way,
You can go.
draw.
Emperor Floyd wants to know if Aria Flame is a decent sideboard option against Death Shadow decks.
That's nice. Holy crap! All right, Ritual Sheath for 1. You're 29. 3 red floating. Let me get this out. All right, so go down to 1. Tormenting Voice.
27.
Pitching an Arclight Phoenix. Draw 2. Use the red. Sunbaked Canyon. Play another
19.
Tormenting Voice. Pitching this. Deal you 3.
I go to 24.
Draw 2. Fee for 6.
I go to 18.
Your turn.
Emperor Floyd's also talking about how Todd is very good at drawing 2 Arclight Phoenixes every game. Must be nice.
I'm the Obama meme.
You are a meme.
I am a meme. Look, it's not my fault.
It's
Ross is
good
moving to
to
discard. Like, it doesn't even really matter what I do. All right, bolt you for 7.
I'm at 11.
Dees.
5. Go to 18. Play Bedlam Reveler. Discard 2 mountains.
I got shot.
No, I was
5.
looking for it to kill you though. Your turn.
I don't think there's anything I can draw here because I need white mana for this Vizier.
Todd, you know you draw 3 cards off Reveler, right?
True.
No.
Thanks.
It is not a Pyromancer.
Okay. Well, I had the postmortem lunge to like hopefully try to go off immediately, but could not find a second land.
All right.
Not
Do you
the
want to
best
play
of
another
showing.
pre-board game just to see how your deck does? Because if you want to sideboard, that's fine. I'll let you choose.
Let's just go sideboarding.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break here while we get sideboards put together. Get in your questions right now for Mr. Thompson. He's going to be taking those and asking us after we're done sideboarding while we're shuffling. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more Versus Live in just a minute.
And welcome back here to Versus Live, where we're sideboarding with the Druid combo against, what are we calling this deck again?
Mono Red Phoenix.
Mono Red Phoenix? Okay. Even though it's completely different than the
Fancy
Mono Red
Phoenix
decks that we've seen.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I called it Song of Fire for whatever it's worth.
I did remember seeing
that wasn't going to fit on the graphic, dude.
Song of Fire? Can't fit on a graphic? It's 3 words.
I think everyone
They're short words. It's 9 characters.
Is just completely tired of Game of Thrones at this point.
That's
So
fine. Look, I didn't call it Song of Ice and Fire. Okay. All right. That's what
Song of
Arya.
Fire just goes, ah, 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 ah.
It's called Arya Flame. It's it's Song of Fire. Come on. Anyway, go ahead, Ross.
Okay. On my side, we've got a nice slate of sideboard options here. Rest in Peace is great at shutting down both Arclight Phoenix and Bedlam Reveler. So that's going to be our sort of nod to disrupting Todd. We want to be minimally disruptive here. And then the one Worship is a card that Todd basically can't remove from the battlefield. And between Burnt and Forged Ender and Spellskite and Shalai, I've got some creatures that are pretty tough for him to remove. So the Worship can also just win a game by itself. And we're bringing in 2 more pieces of protection, expecting Todd to get a lot more interactive in the post-board games. Mm-hmm. The Spellskite and Burnt and Forged Ender are both cards that can be tutored for the turn that you're going to go off, or the turn if you're going off with, say, Postmortem Lunge, and then get some protection to set that up. But both just solid cards at protecting our key combo pieces. We're going to remove the second copy of Walking Ballista. Don't think this is necessary in the matchup. Todd's not attacking our library or getting rid of these cards, and it by itself doesn't have a lot of functionality. Mm-hmm. So we can go down to the single copy. Vivian is our worst card at digging, as terms of, mana efficiency for cards seen. This is going to be better against decks that are a little bit slower. So it's our, dig spell that gets cut. And the one Night of Autumn, it can destroy Aria Flame if Todd leaves that in. It can gain some life, but neither of those is particularly attractive. Shalai actually does a really good job of shutting down Aria Flame by giving you hexproof. And
it's not a mace. Every time I do cast an sorcery, I have to shoot myself in the face for 5-6 damage. So.
Yeah. So worst case scenario, we do still have an answer to that. Yeah. So I think Night of Autumn doesn't have a lot of functionality here and is another easy cut. We're also lowering our curve pretty substantially here to cutting a lot of 3s, getting some more 1s and 2s, which I like.
Yeah, my sideboard is mostly for matchups like Dredge. We have Surgicals and Opposing Phoenix's decks. Blood Moon against the land stacks. Dragon Claw against Mirrors or Mono Red. Burn.
Aria, a Flame Mirror. Coming to a modern near you.
But what we do have a couple of anti-creature cards with Grim Lavamancer, and Abrade is one of those flexible sideboard cards that can come in a lot of matchups. I do think it's going to be quite good here, notably because it's able to deal enough damage to kill the 2 toughness creatures, unlike Gutshot and Lavadar, but also can kill Spellskite by itself, which I really like. Aria Flame is more of a combo card. After sideboard, we're going to have to get a lot more interactive because Ross is going to have a bit more resiliency. So I like trimming Aria Flame, but if he hits us with a Rest in Peace after sideboard, we're going to basically know now that he has Rest in Peace in the sideboard. We need to play around it, and so we'll probably bring back an Aria Flame if we get hit with a Rest in Peace. Okay. All right, Jerry, hit us.
Huddleston brought up the fact that if you play snow-covered mountains in your deck,
love it.
It could be a Song of Ice and Fire.
Love it.
Well done.
Game.
Nice. Hashtag Goulet.
And then Tron Travolta, excellent name, has 3 questions for Ross.
Do they add 7 questions?
7? Oh. Well, yeah, it's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You have 3, you have 7. First one, why do you hate a second Sulfur Falls and Is It Phoenix?
Well, I hate the first one.
I do too.
I don't necessarily hate it, but the first one in a low land account deck, like Is It Phoenix, it's starting on 18. You need to be able to keep the majority of your one-landers, especially a deck with a lot of cantrips that can easily draw out of one-land hands. And Sulfur Falls is a card that really punishes you when you keep one-landers. I've kept several with it, and it's worked out fine, but it's not something you want to run into that often. It was mainly an edition that started out when the burn was really popular, and I wanted another land that I could play without taking damage. But too many, and you just start stumbling more often. They enter tapped if you have a bunch of Spiral Canals, or if you just draw it by itself.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful with how many you add. And the first is already questionable, so I don't think the second is reasonable.
And then how does that? This is my question, but how does that compare to Fiery Islet?
My current plan is to play 1 to 2 Fire Islets and cut the Sulfur Balls.
Cool.
I don't know about you. When I play as a Phoenix, I don't really ever run out of stuff to do.
True. Yeah, same.
I'm not a huge I wouldn't play more than 1 or 2 for sure. So, and I don't even know if 1 is worth it, but I mean, I as someone who's played as a Phoenix far more than me, I assume you've had plenty of games where you flooded out at some point.
Yeah, anytime you play a lot of cantrips, you're likely to flood out, though Faithless Looting does go a long way towards mitigating that in the modern version, whereas the standard version is much more prone to it.
I'll also say this, if there's a way to get Crackling Drake out of the deck, I'm not saying that it's worse than Seasoned Pyromancer, but I think Seasoned Pyromancer could be good. There's a chance maybe that the deck can actually not have to... you don't need your 4th land as much, so you actually can play more Fire Islet so that later on you can sacrifice them.
That is definitely a possibility. I don't think you're going to see me playing Crackling Drake at the Invitation.
Good.
So,
well, the last 2 questions...
It only took you, 9 months to
6.
listen to me? 6?
Well, they were good when I first played them.
Come on.
People were bringing in Rest in Peace against me.
You can play Jace the Mind Sculptor, right?
Yeah, and Chandra...
Crackling Drake kills them.
So does
you don't think
Jace.
Jason Mind Sculptor kills them?
All right, the last 2 questions from Tron Travolta have to do with those sort of flex slots. The second one is, you're running Snapcaster and Is It Phoenix? What happened? And the other one is asking, why does Crackling Drake beat out Terramander for the remaining slot?
So the Snapcaster Mage that I played last weekend was a nod toward my expected increase in the number of Narsets, and Snap Bolt is a very clean answer to someone playing Narset
Even
and not
if they don't
activating
mind
it.
Yeah.
My plan was to leave in a couple bolts against the Azorius control decks. I ended up not playing against a control deck in the entire tournament, but the Snapcaster was still fine. But it's one tournament, so who knows? But that was the reason why the Snapcaster made it in. That was over the second Crackling Drake that I had, because I've become increasingly disillusioned with Crackling Drake. Mainly for that reason. And then the last part was Terramander versus Crackling Drake. They're pretty similarly costed. You're not actually playing Terramander before turn 4 in the majority of games. And then at that point, Crackling Drake draws a card and is generally bigger. So I think it's just a better card for that spot, unless you were to be playing a version with a lot of counterspells in your sideboard and you want to, on turn 4 or 5, get your threat down and hold mana up.
Yeah.
But I've been playing fewer counterspells, so that hasn't been the case.
Do you want to just turn this into the Is It Phoenix show? Because those questions keep coming.
No, please.
Well, okay, so Bogdan11, this was a while ago, but wanted to just thank Ross for the Mulligan analysis that Ross posted on Twitter.
You're very welcome.
And then J Corbis01 wants to know about Finale of Promise.
It was solid. I got to do some pretty dirty things with it, to be honest. In one game against Jund, I had turn 2 Lightning Axe or Ooze, discarding a Phoenix, return that Phoenix. And they played a Rabblemaster on 3, and I went Finale, target my Sleight of Hand and my Lightning Axe, discard another Phoenix, kill your thing, and 6 you. I also cast a Finale for X equals 2 with an active Pyromancer Ascension game and targeted 4 things. This was with a Chalice for 1 in play. But I targeted a Manamorphose, so I got all 4 mana back from 2
Was this against Alex Hahn?
Yes. It was that was in game 1. He just played turn 2 Chalice, and I obliterated it. And Finale was sort of a part of it. That turn ended with all 4 Phoenixes entering the battlefield.
Sounds like a good.
No, actually it didn't. I bolted him 3 times before they could.
Oh,
okay.
Oh no, that was the other game.
Okay,
I don't know.
All right.
It was the one Finale was solid. You board it out in any matchup that's pretty condensed because it's a slow card, but it's really nice to have a card that will return Phoenixes by itself. I think as a one of.
All right, last question for Ross. What is your shirt?
This is
Jangled.
So this is the NBA silhouette logo. That is Jerry. The actual NBA one is Jerry West, but this is a mock-up of it that is Joe Ingles, and that's his shooting motion. Joe Ingles is the starting small forward for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, so Finger said, is that a Joe Ingles shirt, and if so, why?
Yes, it is.
Ingles is apparently very good.
Yeah, he is very good.
Get jangled.
He's a fan favorite. This hand.
Is it good? Good?
It's slow.
Okay. I feel like you haven't had a good hand yet.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slog.
I guess you had turn 1 Giver, turn 2 Devoted Druid one game. That was not bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it and see how it goes.
All right.
We're gonna. Of course, I know what's gonna happen though. Like I need to accelerate, so I want to find the Dryad Arbor with this finale here. I'm just gonna draw the Dryad Arbor right now. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Please don't. That would actually make me a little sad.
Yeah, so I'm at 19.
That's why you should play 2.
And then you draw
It's really good with Aether Vial. It is.
It is very good with Aether Vial.
You gonna rest in peace me on 2 instead?
Please
Please don't.
am going to fetch and finale for
Dryad Arbor.
yeah, Dryad. Okay.
So 20 to 18.
Yep, I'll go to Forest and you can go.
All right.
Didn't kill my Dryad Arbor, that's good.
Well, I'm gonna with a gut shot. I just want to do it on my turn in case I draw Phoenix. All right. Let's go Manamorphose.
Sure.
2 red.
So some players are commenting on the Stream Decker list for Ross's deck not being correct, and that is true. It has been updated, but it hasn't
It's
updated.
Cardboard Live, not Stream Decker.
Yeah.
Well, someone said Stream Decker. I don't know. I was just reading the thing.
Well,
They
they're
are
wrong.
wrong. All right.
Cardboard Live.
Let's go season.
I blame Brewlander 87.
Discarding Faithless Looting and Grim Lavamancer. Let's make 2 Rosses. Draw 2 cards. And Gutshot your Dryad Arbor.
Yeah, that's not good. So you're at 18?
Pingram's trying to do the exclamation point deck. Does that also not work? Because you can just use
No,
this. You can just
that's
click
not
on the screen, right?
Just click
That's
on
not right, man.
the screen.
Yeah, just click the screen.
It even works on mobile. Just click the little puzzle piece next to the chat box.
So yeah, you said you're at 18, Todd?
Yeah, 18 all.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is turn 2. Kills thing. Make 4 things. Graveyard large for Bedlam Reveler.
Hooked on Arclight Phoenix said, "I thought Jerry is quitting SCG." I don't know where that came from.
What?
Come on, Arclight.
So I have the ability to combo in 3 turns here. Not sure if I'm going to get 3 turns, though.
Very carefully.
But I think that's my best way of going about it.
All right.
I'm going to go to 17 and finale for a Giver of Runes.
Okay.
Actually, I should probably just finale for a Forge Tender.
Sounds
Seeing
great.
as it's definitely going to protect me and it can play some blocking duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Love it.
sounds better.
Because I can't even attack into it, really. Deal you
Yeah.
3 damage. You're 17?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Ross, is the green finale playable? Seems very expensive.
Seems not good.
I mean, it's better than Court of Calling or Collected Company would have been there.
In this situation,
Attack for 3.
And if I have a bunch of mana, they're basically the same. Yeah, block a token. I'm at 14.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get Ross, like, lowish on life, I guess. All right, we're going to play Grim Lavamancer in a Sunbaked Canyon and say go.
That's not good. Okay, I will Latimer's Call for a Devoted Druid and play it going to 13.
Yep.
And pass the turn.
All right, I'm going to go and pop the Sunbaked Canyon to try to draw some way to kill the Devoted Druid other than the Lavamancer to get around the Forge Tender.
Hopefully we get 1 turn here.
should dismember him, Todd. Teach him a lesson.
All right, let's shoot this, exiling these 2. All right, attack with these 2.
I go to 10.
Your turn.
Ross, would you run Court of Calling if you had Wall of Roots?
So I mean, once you have Wall of Roots in play, then Finale is the same. It's Court is the same price as Finale, right? You just get the extra 1 discount.
Unless you have other creatures, such as Burnt and Forge Tender.
You never have other creatures. Okay, so I need 2 white mana to Latimer's Call and play Vizier here. And since that is the case, I'm not going to be able to use both canopies.
Mhm.
Given that Todd did not kill my...
What are you doing?
I'm checking how many cards you got.
Just ask.
Given that Todd didn't kill my thing last turn, my Devoted Druid, I'm not sure what is in his hand. Just some rituals? Okay. I could try to slow play this turn and just play Rest in Peace.
Ooh.
And that'll shut off the Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah.
And give me another turn, and then thus give me, 2 more draws. Because right now, if I go for the Vizier, I'll get 1 draw of Canopy and just hope it's great. And given that I'd rather give Todd 1 more draw at a removal in order to get, 3 more draws myself. So I think I'm just going to Rest in Peace.
That's a tilt.
And that'll exile some stuff. And then we'll play this Windswept Teeth and pass the turn.
All right, let's Faithless Looting. And we'll pitch the Bedlam Reveler because we're never casting it in a mountain. Play my land, attack with this mini.
I am not going to block because I don't want to lose my Devoted Druid to a Gut Shot. I'll go to 6.
All right, your turn.
So, end step, let's crack this, go to 5. Get my planes. And I'm going to sack Canopy before I call, just to see if I draw the Vizier.
Mm.
And this is our window. So let's not tap the green, or not tap the white. That's awkward.
Combo deck.
That probably shouldn't be in my deck.
Huh. Oh, graveyard?
It's post-mortem lunch. So we have enough white mana to still call on my turn, so there's no reason to call now.
All right.
So I could
on
once
your
again.
upkeep. Gonna. Yep. I'm gonna. Well. No, go ahead.
Well, now you just sort of told me what you have.
Oh, I didn't.
I guess once again I can just Canopy first, see what I draw.
Okay.
Well, Scooter wanted to know if you should just get Shalai at some point.
Yeah. I mean, if I could have cast it maybe, but...
You could have cast it that turn.
Yeah, but like the Devoted just dies in response if he has it.
Right, but then you have a Shalai. Instead of like getting Vizier playing that and then getting your thing killed.
So I'm at 5 right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is awkward. Because I can't... So right now I only have 5 mana. I've already played my land this turn. So I can't play Vizier, have the Devoted Druid die, and then call and replay Devoted Druid. Ugh. So close. I guess I'm not dead next turn, but how am I going to kill next turn if I can't play the Devoted Druid? Okay, well, let's play the Vizier, I guess.
You just drew Vizier?
Yeah, I just drew Vizier.
Um,
That's certainly what I would do here if I...
yeah, I'll kill your Devoted Druid in response. Sorry. I'm gonna play a Lava Dart targeting it. Because if he untaps it, I actually don't have to use the Gut Shot on it. So let's dart the Devoted Druid.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and now I'll Gut Shot it.
And I will pass the turn.
Attack.
Block the Pyromancer.
You're at 3.
Yep.
Go.
End of turn. Call.
Yep.
Find Shalai.
Yep.
We've got a new plan.
We've got a scrappy one here. Recipe's is messed up against me. That sucks. That was one of the reasons why the original mono red deck was more popular than Izzet for a little while. Was just because it was better against Leyline of the Void because you had the 8 Prowess creatures. This version's a little more vulnerable. But I don't know. We'll see.
Play it.
Todd is almost at Bedlam Reveler mana.
Yeah, yeah. I'm regretting discarding it now. What now? All right, just go.
How many Seasoned Pyros are left in your deck?
3, I think. So I'm trying to empty my hand.
Let's play a Verdant Catacombs and pass the turn.
Yep.
Oh, my Dried Arbor is gone.
All right. Metamorphose.
Yep.
Go.
And step activate the Township.
Yep.
Don't want to crack these fetches. If
Yeah,
I don't have
basically, I'm going to have to kill Ross with damage with attacking now, which means I really need to draw Seasoned Pyromancer, and I need to be able to make tokens. Sure.
Yeah, still have both basic forests in the deck, so now I'm fine cracking. So let's play this. Crack a
You're going
fetch.
to go to 2?
Yeah, I mean, I have Hexproof from the Shalai.
Sure.
Your burn spells aren't doing anything. Pass. Yeah. I want to get this noble to a 1/2. I got over there, Todd.
Go.
Okay.
No, that's stupid. I'm going to play this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if I draw another one, I can attack for the win.
Uh,
Trying to hope that you would just, like, tap out one turn.
play a Devoted Druid. Pass the turn.
Okay. Draw.
So now if you find another Vizier, Shalai will end the game. I guess not quite because you have a Flying Walker, but it'll virtually end the game. So activate Township.
Mhm.
3, 2, 1.
Well, you also don't have infinite white, right? You just have infinite green, so you can. Oh, with that, yeah, sorry. I was thinking Township. I'm stupid.
Noble Hierarch.
Mm-hmm. You want to attack with a Shalai?
Yeah, I cannot do that.
You can. That's legal.
Yeah, a second Arclight Phoenix is going to kill me regardless, and that's the only haste creature in Todd's deck. So maybe I'm supposed to start attacking with this Noble Hierarch.
I think so.
So let's attack for... that's 4 now.
Yeah.
Before damage all Township and make it 5.
Yep. I'm at 13.
And you can go.
Whoop. Oh, we're doing it. Ritual.
It's happening.
3,
Oh,
8.
baby.
Bedlam. Discard Dart. Draw 3. Go. I mean, we have like all of our lands. We have a Rest in Peace on us. We can't do a ton.
Okay. That was a card.
What you got? You have Vizier or a way to gain infinite mana to make infinite counters on all your things?
Duskwatch Recruiter.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. So why don't we activate it?
Sure. How many Viziers you got left? 3? Yep.
Oh no, can I take this one?
I'll allow it.
Dude, Worship plus Shalai, I don't think I could beat it.
I don't think there's a difference between these two.
Okay.
In order, so I can make some mana with this Devoted Druid. So let's make a green, put counter on it, untap, go to 2 green, 3 green, activate Recruiter again.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite. So let's make this an 0-1 and play another Devoted Druid.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
So let me draw Phoenix. Just Phoenix you.
I guess I can play this Giver too. Whatever. Yeah, I just need to fade a Phoenix basically. That's a weird line. So you just have a bunch of...
I'm sure Ross means that in the nicest way possible.
You just have 5 damage worth of spells to aim at my Shalai. I mean, I have to block, so
Yep.
There's no point in really thinking. Which of these creatures is the worst? The Giver becomes good once Todd kills the Shalai. The Duskwatch, once Todd kills the Shalai, gives me a win. And the Devoted Druid provides more mana than the Noble Hierarch, even though the Hierarch is big right now. I think at this point it would just be mana that matters to activate the Recruiter as many times as I can.
All right.
So
Just throw 5 damage at the slot.
2 bolts or whatever.
A bolt and a gut shot and a lava dart. I'm actually going to pay 2 life on one of the gut shots because I have a Seasoned Pyromancer that I can draw a bolt now and kill you. So
Yeah.
So I'm at
you're
11.
at 11, yeah.
all right. This dies. Second main. Just play Season. Draw 2. Is dead. Sunbaked Canyon, or I can just actually. I'm gonna. How likely am I to be dead? Pretty likely.
Ross, what are you at?
I'm at 2.
Why did I think you gained life?
I don't know. He fetched a while ago. To
Yeah.
2. So how many times can you activate Devoted Druid or Dustwatch? It's a lot. So I think I actually just go. What? Okay, math guy. Should I Tormenting Voice pitch Sunbait Canyon or crack Sunbait Canyon to find a bolt? I have. I need to find Land Bolt.
My intuition is
3 bolts
Canyon.
I have 3 bolts left, so finding Bolt off of Canyon is more likely than finding Bolt Land.
Yeah,
off of 2 draws.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sack can't. Unless you get to keep, like, you still have the voice around for next turn.
Oh, Bolt you. Yeah.
What's the top card of land?
No. Ooh, nice.
So I think normally you wouldn't crack this fetch on Todd's end step if I'd gotten another turn, but it actually gives me 1 more Dustwatch Recruiter activation. I don't have any more basics in the deck, so like this is just getting the last Temple Garden. Like you do know the 4 bottom cards of your deck, but because this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so 3 activations plus the casting of the Vizier. That's a tilt. I was going to get to see 10 cards next turn. 2 of Vizier.
You were so close.
Yeah, I mean, you've already activated multiple times too, and your deck's really thin.
Well, I was gonna fetch. Just
I think fetching's actually bad. Do you have another forest?
It would be, but I don't. It would be, but I don't have a forest, and the fetch gives me another activation of this because it's the 11th mana.
Sure. It also lets you reshuffle worship into the deck to maybe draw.
Yeah.
Ross, you could say you were on thin ice. Speaking of beep 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 beep.
New card?
New card.
Let's hear it.
On thin ice.
Okay. What's it do?
For a single white, you get a snow enchantment aura. Enchant snow land you control. When On Thin Ice enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent controls until On Thin Ice leaves the battlefield.
Oh, it's just snow the rocks.
Yeah. Chain to the Rocks, but for snowlands.
Okay. I actually like the snow theme. I think it's a little heavy-handed on occasion, but I mean, I've always liked Scrat as a card, and seeing like snow versions of stuff seems, it's fine.
This is also a rare, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah. Chain to the Rock's definitely a powerful card. We've seen that show up in Modern on occasion.
Yeah.
It was usually out of
Chain
Zoo
Rocks,
decks.
Well, Chain of Rocks also kind of force you to play white and red, and this at the very least you could just play in your mono white Martyr of Sands deck with just like 20 snow plains as like your basics.
Yeah.
So
And it's nice to have a basic too because you don't want that land getting field ruined.
yeah, that's true.
We already got some nice nicknames for this card. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
Snow Ring instead of O-Ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Also Snow Plow.
Snowplow is good. Actually, that's my favorite. Actually,
It's from Mason Clark.
nice. All right. Well, that was match 1.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's 3-0. You want to play again?
Yeah.
We only have. I mean, we're already
It's
3 minutes till.
1:57.
Play one more.
Okay.
I got a post-mortal lunge. I brought a Vivian back in. I do like lunge in this matchup. It's obviously, dyssynergy with Rest in Peace, but
Like, can we just plan on going long today? Can we just go to like 4:30 today? Is that okay?
No.
No.
agreed.
What do you mean agreed? You want to play another game? It's 2:00.
Yeah, it won't take long. I'll turn 3.
Okay.
All right, we're in turns.
All right, it's getting kind of sketchy. New nickname is
Right.
Journey to Snowhere.
Journey to Nowhere is pretty good. That's pretty.
We're
good.
going deep.
I'll go to 17.
All right, dart it.
We going.
Oh, I didn't mean to keep this hand. Oh well. Maybe I did. If I draw a land, I'm going to look like a genius.
We got a lot of questions too.
Good. Just hit us while we're playing. This is a fun game.
Okay.
I've already won the match, and Rob wants to see his deck in action.
Menk222 wants to know about Urza as far as whether or not we got any Urza decks coming.
We might.
So
I would hold on and keep watching.
Yeah, we got Urza coming up real soon here. Go. I don't even know if that's right. I kind of want to let it flip, but then he can like triple spell me maybe.
I'll go to 15.
Yeah,
you can go.
There we go.
Travis Hall wants to know if Unearth is better than Postmortem Lunge.
Well, Postmortem Lunge importantly gives the creature haste, which with Devoted Druid lets you, go off immediately. So in this deck, I think you want Lunge.
Also, you don't need black mana for Lunge.
That's true. Yeah, Lunge is pretty sweet. I do like Unearth though. I think there's going to be a lot of like value Faithless Looting decks with like Young Pyromancer that just get to play Unearth. Like Grixis Pyromancer with Unearth on Snapcaster Mage or Pyromancer just seems awesome.
Yeah, agreed.
So, love the addition of Unearth for sure. We'll definitely be looking into like Jace Vryn's Prodigy, Snapcaster, Pyromancer, Unearth decks, that kind of thing.
Attack for 2.
18.
Scooter asked, don't we already have Unearth in the form of Claim Fame? But Unearth gets CMC 3 or less, whereas Claim is 2 or less.
Yeah.
And it cycles. So
doesn't Claim to Fame also cost more mana? Doesn't it cost 2?
No. The haste is 2 mana.
Okay.
It's B and then 1 R.
Yeah. I mean, cycling's also pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But you can't Snapcaster it. That's the problem. Because of the new rule with the split cards. Claim to Fame? I mean, you can just cost like 4 mana. No, it's not right. Am I just dumb?
I think you're dumb.
I'm just dumb. All right, so you gotta give her runes.
Yeah, and I'm at 13.
All right, you're at 13.
So we have a lot of requests to talk about specific cards. A lot of them are about Crashing Footfalls. This is the new green suspend card.
Okay, 1 second.
Todd, appease the people.
Give me a second.
You told me to ask while you were playing. Now you're telling me to wait? What do you want, Todd?
Stayed the same. I don't think I want to actually... Maybe I do want to cast the Lava Dart. Okay, 3 floating. We'll bolt Duskwatch. Go to 1. Discard the Lava Dart. We'll bring back Phoenix and tech for 3. 10. Go. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Crashing Footfalls, sorcery, suspend 4 for G, create 2 4/4 green rhino creature tokens with trample.
Yeah. What about it?
You like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's good? Can you ask for Told it? Can you cascade into it? Can you Electro Dominance it?
You can do all of that. And
is that viable?
I mean, the 2-card combo of Electro Dominance plus make 2 4/4s is like kind of cool, but like the other ones are just way better. Like all the other, like Restore Balance is more powerful. Even Wheel of Fate can be more powerful. I don't know.
Yeah,
those are all contextual though. This is actual just get creatures.
Sure. I mean,
you don't have to jump through any hoops.
Just like that card specifically because on turn 1 you can just suspend it and then just play like a teamer control game after that, and like you could play a deck with like Ancestral, the Crash of Rhinos. I actually think it might be really good in a Dreadhorde Arcanist deck with Faithless Looting, like Electro Dominance, Faithless Looting.
That's pretty sweet.
Dreadhorde. Yeah. It's just another thing to go with Ancestral to play like this fair game plan that kind of cheats some stuff. So,
you know what I don't like about it? Like every suspend creature, when it came off suspend, had haste. And this is like a sorcery that makes tokens. So the tokens don't have haste. Hate it. Give them haste.
Well, this is like Hypergenesis, right?
Yeah.
And the Hypergenesis creatures didn't have haste. You had to work for it.
Yeah, but this is also assuming that you're only putting in 2 creatures off Hypergenesis. When usually
you mulligan a lot with that deck.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But the creatures you put in weren't vanilla 4/4s.
Yeah, they were usually 15/15 spaghetti monsters that ate your opponents a whole battlefield.
The only 4/4 you were putting in was Urabrask.
which solves your problem. So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think it's definitely an interesting card. Like anything that has to spend and 0 mana on the cost is going to need to have like a look at. Like, it took us quite a while to figure out that Lotus Bloom was actually good in Modern, and with the other Cascade spells, like Living In was the only one that saw play for a while, and then once Electro Dominance and As Foretold came out, like we started to realize you could just build these Cascade decks that played fair, these remand Cryptic Command decks that allowed you to sometimes kill something and draw 3 cards. Sometimes you play a bunch of cycling creatures, and then you play Living End at instant speed sometimes off of Electro Dominance, kill your opponent's battlefield, bring back a bunch of 4/4s and 5/5 flyers with Hexproof or whatever. And this is just another addition to that. It might be good. It might be unplayable. It's a standalone, though, which I like. Like, Living In, you need to do a lot of work to make it work. You need to pair it with a bunch of cycling creatures that aren't very good. You have to pair Restore Balance with Greater Gargadon, and if you don't have both of those together, neither of them are very good. But this is almost always going to be pretty good. So
it's also a much better card to just naturally suspend and cast eventually, because you can do it on turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other ones here were at least 2, 3, maybe 4 mana, and then you have to wait 2 or 3 turns beyond that. And that was just too much to commit, especially in Modern.
Yeah.
But committing your first turn to this, and then, like you said, just spending the next 3 or 4 turns interacting with them is a really nice way to ensure that you're going to have pressure, but you won't have to take a full turn off.
No, I agree. I think this pairs really well with Ancestral Visions and a fair Electro Dominance deck.
Yeah, I like the idea of that with Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Yeah, I mean, I like Arcanist too, just because you get to play Serum Visions again, Lightning Bolt. I don't want to play too reactive with it. Like, Remand would be probably the only reactive card I would play in that deck. Maybe like a couple Cryptics, but I don't know. That seems really interesting. So that was match 1. The Devoted Druid deck, really powerful. Obviously has a bit of a hard time against Lava Dart deck. I was more curious to see how good Giver of Runes was going to be specifically against Gutshot and Lava Dart, because it had 2 toughness, and I thought that it would shine. And honestly, in the we played 3 or 4 games before we even started, and it was really, really good. And then you just didn't draw it until it was too late in a lot of these games.
Yeah, I didn't draw a lot of Devoted Druids, which was a big thing, and I'm wondering if the cutting Incubation Incongruity, which was in an original draft of this deck, was a mistake. You might just need that sort of raw mana efficiency as opposed to a card like Vivian.
Sure.
That's a little flashier. And then so you're able to, cast your turn 2 Devoted Druids really often and put your opponent on the back foot, because I was never really able to do that. And then, I needed Rest in Peace to interact with you, which shut off my Postmortem Lunge, which is my way to, catch back up on tempo and combo all in one turn.
Sure.
And without that, then I need to take 2 turns to combo, and trying to set that up was difficult.
I mean, maybe you just gotta not rely on something like Rest in Peace so you can get the Postmortem Lunges back. Maybe you just play Surgical Extractions like everyone else
Scavenging
does.
Oozes.
Yeah, Ooze actually, one of Ooze sounds pretty good.
Yeah, there should probably be one in there.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to build this Devoted Druid deck, and I'm curious to see if Eldamri's Call and Giver of Runes actually give it some legs. This matchup, I think, is very specifically hateful with the amount of cheap interaction and the clock that I put on you. I liked how good Burnt and Forge Cinder was after sideboard. I thought that Giver of Runes, when you did draw it, looked really good. And honestly, there were multiple spots where if I didn't draw something, I was going to die. And I drew something, got a little lucky. So
yeah, this is a deck that definitely needs to be optimized in terms of making sure that you're going to assemble the combo pieces as consistently as possible. This version might not have done it because it was going for some more powerful enablers as opposed to the most efficient ones, and you probably need to err on the side of efficiency. Once you find that collection, Giver of Runes is definitely great in this shell.
Yeah. As far as the mono red Phoenix deck is concerned, we saw one game where Aria Flame did nothing, which was, someone pointed that out, where it gained him 10 life and dealt him 10 damage.
But that's only because the game ended.
That's only because the game. If I didn't have the double Phoenix start, and in that game specifically, it would have ended up probably doing a lot. Like, if I got to untap on the next turn, I'd just cast a Bedlam Reveler. I had 3 spells in hand. It was going to do what? So 5, 6, 7. That's 18 damage. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage. When you start playing gut shots, lava darts, and you have these like cheap slash double casting threats, like that makes Aria Flame quite good. And in matchups where your opponent's not trying to combo you, if you're playing against like Jeskai Control, Mono White, not mono white, like blue white control, various control decks and mid range decks, Aria Flame could be quite good, and it kills a lot faster than it seems.
Yeah, I mean, if you just do the math, you're adding triangular numbers together, and the difference by giving them 10 life is usually only 1 or 2 spells beyond what you would normally have to, just from that effect to start. And if they start, at about 16, you get 15 damage off of 5 spells, and then you need 2 more to get somewhere in the 20s. So there really isn't much difference, and the effect is definitely very powerful. Plus, you can just use it to pick off planeswalkers. people have these Gnar sets that's going to be problematic for a deck like this. It's playing Tormenting Voice and Faithless Looting
for sure,
and picking off Teferis and Jaces. And
there was a fun game we were playing where I actually cast Aria Flame and then gut shotted down your 2 Loyalty Vivian. That was nice. So I think there's a lot of potential to the card. I'm curious to see if anyone picks up and runs with it, because it feels like it goes perfectly into a, is it Storm deck? Obviously it's probably a lot worse than Grape Shot in general, because Grape Shot kills them in one shot. But in a matchup where your opponent is going to be hitting you with a bunch of discard effects, and you board into the pieces of the puzzle deck, it's going to be sometimes really hard to assemble a big combo in one turn. And something like Aria Flame can allow you to just kill them over the course of a few turns. So you cast Ritual into Aria Flame on 2. I could see you killing your opponent on turn 4 without casting a single Grape Shot, and that doesn't seem that hard in Is It Phoenix or in a Is It Storm deck.
Yeah, and people aren't going to be bringing in answers to a 3-mana enchantment against your Storm deck. So you're going to catch people off guard with that. That could be a great sideboard option for that deck.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the idea of not you just get to play a bunch of sleight of hands and then your opponent dies, right? That just seems pretty great to me.
Yeah, that's all I ever want to do.
Maybe, I mean, honestly, it might be okay in an Is It Phoenix sideboard as an alternate plan against Rest in Peace, too. It doesn't use the graveyard. It allows you to just kill your opponent over time by casting Opt and Sleight of Hand and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
you turn spinning your wheels into, running them over.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do in those kind of decks. Thoughts?
Seems better than Crackling Drake to me.
Huh, maybe.
Sets the bar low, I know, but...
No, honestly, maybe. It works really... I mean, the problem for me in that threat slot, honestly, was always that nothing worked well with Thing in the Ice. Nothing. And this card works perfectly with Thing in the Ice. Doesn't affect it at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
We'll see. All right, well, we're going to take a short break here. Can we do 5? Or do you need to do more?
We can do 5.
All right, we're just going to take a 5-minute break here while we get match 2 set up. What are we going to be bringing to the table?
I believe my second deck is Mono Black Zombies.
All right, and I got a Mardu Pyromancer deck that uses the new Season Pyromancer as well as a few other cards.
Oh, no, second one is a deck. Is a deck a second? Okay, I got the order. Got the order wrong. My bad.
It's fine.
So we got an Is It Tempo deck playing Force and Negation.
Now that deck looks sweet. Basically, its Curious Obsession looks a lot like the mono blue decks that are in Standard.
Curd Bros were actually asking about that a lot. Force and Negation, just with tempo in general, or Delver of Secrets.
Yeah, but I think the minus cards that you lose from Force and Negation gets offset by Curious Obsession and Curiosity, which is really cool. So definitely going to want to see that. I'm playing Mardu Pyromancer, more Season Pyromancer action. These 2 lists are both from the Mardu Pyromancer deck is a list from my article from last week, so make sure to check that out. But we're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back for more Versus Live.